Lawyer Up. She does it every week at this time. We have a full docket for her, as always. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
I am fantastic. I hope you guys are.
Well, it's great to hear from you, as always. We're doing well. An interesting question posed online from a man in his mid-20s who used to, at least, have a roommate who had an allergy to peanuts. Well, the guy who's asking the questions made himself a cake, which was made with peanut butter, and put the cake in his own refrigerator. Because the other guy's allergies were severe, they had separate refrigerators. Well, guy with allergy, roommate comes along looking for food, goes into the other guy's fridge, sees the cake, has a piece of it, goes into shock. They had to call 911, gets the EpiPen, takes the ambulance. So there are some medical bills. And the guy who ate the cake is now asking for the man who made the cake, his roommate, to pay at least half the medical bills. The reaction online was split. I don't know if there really is any legality in this. Biggie does not like it. He's like,
no, I can't even believe it was split.
You guys, you went into another man's refrigerator.
Yeah.
For good. You get what you get. Lisa, does the guy who made the cake have any obligation to pay any medical bills?
No, not as long as he was not doing this like a booby trap, sabotage, intentional thing. And there are actually criminal penalties if you do that. There's a famous case that we all study in law school where a guy had a problem with teenagers breaking into his tool shed, so he rigged a shotgun that would blast when the door was opened. And and he killed a kid that way. And it's sort of the classic case of, you can't. It's partly you can't defend property with deadly force if there's no intent to cause bodily harm, but it was also considered like the anti-booby-trap case. So you can't do something really malicious and intentional, hoping to kill him with anaphylaxis reaction to peanuts. But this didn't sound like the case, and it sounded like it was this guy's food. And so the guy who stole the food is out of luck, and it's ridiculous that anybody helped him with his medical bills.
Exactly. I agree 100%. And that the guy stole the food. Although if he'd stolen food before from the refrigerator, maybe it could have been a booby trap, I guess. That's not mentioned.
I wonder, because it happens a lot in offices. We had a guy in our office. He was a law student at the time. He was clerking with us, and he's now gone on and practices law in D.C., but he would eat a little bit out of like everybody's lunch that was in the refrigerator or their leftovers or whatever. He would just help himself, and I'm pretty sure he got sabotaged at some point because people were tired of it.
We used to have a guy that would do that.
Well,
now he would take lunches and like eat bites of it and then try to cover up his tracks.
Whoa.
I mean, it's like
exactly.
Yeah, Lisa, he would carve off part of the sandwich.
Whoa.
I mean, it's like it's borderline psychotic behavior.
Oh, definitely.
It really is.
I want to listen.
By the way, Lisa, you're talking to him now.
I want to defend myself.
I remember.
I want to defend
myself. We had a guy
myself.
just like you.
Okay. He's not just like me. I took I took one bite of a sandwich from a guy named Neil. And then I noticed the packaging had on top of it, "This is Neil's sandwich. Do not touch this sandwich. It belongs to Neil."
It may be in Spanish too, right?
Yes, it was.
Is there anything more narcissistic, Lisa, than eating someone else's food when you know it's not yours and thinking, they don't deserve this? I do.
Right, I deserve this, right?
They're not here. I'm hungry now.
I had to cut it.
Every day is a new buffet.
Yes.
In the refrigerator,
Yes.
right?
I had to cut it to make it look like it was still a full sandwich and put it together. But Neil knew. He knew exactly what was going on there.
Can't fool him.
This is food related as well. There's a class action lawsuit against Ziploc's parent company because Ziploc has said that their bags are microwave safe and freezer friendly. And at least the folks behind this class action lawsuit claim that is absolutely not true. If you Ziploc an item and microwave it, then you're getting a bunch of chemicals from the plastic leaching into your food. And I had a bunch of emails from people saying they cook things in the microwave in Ziplocs all the time. And then others
remember the baked potato hack?
Yeah, baked potato guy he would put the baked potato with garlic, salt, and butter in a Ziploc, cook it up, and it was delicious. So does the class action lawsuit have a chance here since they are claiming it's safe for the microwave? What do you think?
What is interesting about this particular class action is usually when we see a class action, the science is really known and 100%, has been known for years about whatever the danger was. It's like a straightforward thing. Like classic example is like when the Ford Pintos were exploding,
right?
And Ford knew it, and they could have avoided it for like a $10, $12 change in the car, and they didn't. And so, they got hammered for that, right? I mean, because that's clear. Mm-hmm. Here, the science is really evolving, and we do know, I think for a fact, that microplastics leach from these bags and other plastic containers and things. I think that's been shown and proven when they are heated up and when they're frozen. But what we don't know, and this is where it's going to be interesting from a burden of proof standpoint, we don't know what level what dosage of these microplastics you can take before it becomes toxic. So I think that's going to be the hard part, is the science of it, because it's evolving.
Okay. So they'll have to get a science. It'll be like one scientist versus another to say how bad it is for. But I'll tell you, I wouldn't do it. It feels like anything. And I had people email me saying, and don't put them in plastic anything. Don't heat up spaghetti in a plastic bowl. Do not do that.
I think we're learning that. And we're, we are part, like all of us on this call, we're kind of part of the generation that grew up with microwaves and plastic, and we would put, all kinds of plastic and, plastic containers, plastic bottles, put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
And I think we're finding, they're saying that we're just riddled with microplastics, and it may be leading to cancer and all sorts of things. But that's the question mark, is at what point does it become toxic to your body? And they're still studying that.
Yes. Even like the plastic water bottles, if they sit in the heat in a warehouse somewhere, then you buy it and drink the water, of course.
Yeah.
A couple of high-profile cases. The first is the Menendez brothers. Now, they have ruled that the life sentence is no longer, and they will be eligible for parole perhaps very soon. This year, they could be out. I'm against. My wife is against. We've seen the miniseries. So
Noted.
Okay, so is Biggie. The question we had was, we may have asked you this, if they get out and write a book, can they make millions of dollars off the book, or is that profiting from your crime?
They can. There was a time a few decades ago when states tried to outlaw that. They tried to outlaw being able to profit from your crime. And the classic, one of the first ones where the law was struck down was in California, where they had the Son of Sam law, because he wrote a book. And it was found to be unconstitutional. And so they can write books. And in fact, one of the Menendez brothers, kind of in the lull when they were out of the media spotlight, wrote a book about his life in prison, and it just kind of went, fairly under the radar.
Yeah.
So I expect that they will. They were not allowed to inherit the $14 million estate that now is worth $36 million from Jose and Kitty. Because there was a Slayer statute that said if you kill somebody, then you forfeit your inheritance from them.
Okay, so even when they get out, they will not be able to inherit that 36.
They can't get that fortune. No, that fortune was dispersed to other relatives, so they cannot get that. But they can make money, and they will get out. They are their sentence was changed to 50 years, to life instead of life without parole, and they had at the time. Actually, now they have this youthful offender. If you were under 26, then they've served enough years at 35 years to get out. So I think they'll get out.
I don't care for it.
Biggie. Lisa, as you can probably tell, Chris Kelly's not a fan of the Menendez brothers. However, if they get out, Chris Kelly, and they do a speaking tour, and we're offered an interview with one, would you do it?
Oh, yeah, we definitely think that. We certainly can.
You know it. Yeah, you know it. Yeah.
Lyle, or I think Lyle's more talkative. We'd take either. And I would ask him about that toupee that was ripped off of his head, that was somehow nailed into his head.
That's question one.
That's the first question we're asking. And Lisa, we may have to have you on as well, because you saw the actor portraying Eric Menendez in a shower scene in the miniseries and said, dang.
I believe you had a dream about him, Lisa?
Had a sex dream about him.
Yes, I did.
I thought so.
I don't think our counsel is objective as she might be.
Right. That's right.
Do you mind signing this?
I'm suddenly warmed to the Menendez brothers.
Yes, I remember when that happened. The other high-profile case, Lisa, I can't watch this Sean Combs stuff. It's too graphic. Is he going away forever, in your opinion?
It's too early to tell. I think. I mean, it looks bad from what I've read. Like the jurors are just in shock, like they're grimacing and they're physically like showing like these very physical, visceral signs of revolt at the photos that they're being shown.
Yes.
But the question, is that keeps coming back is consent. If this was all consensual, then, and that's his whole argument is this whole thing with Cassie. It's consensual. It's freaky, but it's consensual. And, is that, but I think it's piling on against him. I think it's looking really bad, and the jurors they seem really shocked by it.
Yeah, a biggie.
Lisa, have they made any case at all on the whole racketeering part of things? Because right now it just seems to be about the, consent and text messages and horrible things he's done, but they also charge him with racketeering, and I can't quite figure that out.
So they'll get to that. I mean, right now the evidence is just, it's early and it's going to be a long trial, but they will get to that part where he utilized. So, they're building up what the underlying crimes were, and then they're going to build up on how he used his businesses to perpetuate those crimes.
Unbelievable. I mean, I can't even watch it, but my wife is glued to it. She's been watching for Menendez. We're on court TV all day long,
Plus, the Murdoch case is
back. A-Train's friend, she had to give up her job. She's been arrested. Clerk of court's been arrested. A-Train wants to go. Listen, A-Train wants to fly out to Idaho for that trial, but she has not updated her license with that that real ID. So sorry.
No. Could she Amtrak it?
God, don't give her any idea. She might hop on. She might Amtrak the thing to Boise. Who knows? I don't know what she's going to do.
You know what? I can tell her a few DMVs out in, West Bum that she can go and
Just not give her any ideas now. We want to keep her local. We don't need to spend.
We don't need her up in the air.
We don't need her in the air.
I found all the good DMVs when my kids returned.
She knows where to go.
I know we have listeners there. Speaking of which, I saw a headline this morning that said in the entire country, the worst DMVs are in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Is that right? Longest waits. Yeah, I can't fly right now either, Lisa. So if you need me,
you're grounded.
I'm grounded. If you need me for like a case to be some sort of special witness somewhere, I can't do it. I'm sorry. We have this is about a flight as well. There's a guy named Douglas Altshuler, 58 years old, SpaceX employee has Crohn's disease. This is a gut disease where you're in the bathroom a lot, or can be. He's filed a federal discrimination lawsuit against Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, claiming that they not only failed to accommodate his medical condition, but also retaliated against him for raising the concern, and eventually he was let go in early 2025, January of 2025. And he says this is completely wrong, but the company says that's not true. We made every arrangement for him. What do you think, Lisa? Do you just need to know the details? What's going on? Is he going to win this?
Yeah, I mean, I think if he was truly, if his factual allegations are true that he was punished for this and they didn't accommodate him, then, I mean, it's a protected disease under the ADA. 1 in 100 Americans have some version of this, either irritable bowel or Crohn's or something. This dude, he basically has constant diarrhea. He has to go to the bathroom an average of 14 times during a work day. And they were very upset about it. And they started timing him and saying, like, you were gone longer than 10 minutes and things like that. And so it didn't sound like they were very accommodating. He brought a letter from his doctor showing that explaining this to him. And they said they were going to accommodate. But then it sounds like they kind of punished him for it. And were upset that he was away from him. He's a customer service rep. So, minutes on the phone, I think, mattered. And
yes.
He can't take his headset into the toilet?
Guess not.
Yeah, exactly. That would be very
So what exactly is the problem with I will say this.
It really wouldn't be worse than either being on hold or being sent to, somewhere like, a foreign country where you can't understand.
Could he work from home?
Yeah. Well, yeah. How about that? If he's
he's still going poo every, 14 times a day,
That's
regardless of where he's situated. And the other thing he did was he filed a workers' comp claim. I think they got mad about that too. There was some kind of a chemical, like gas release or something, and where a bunch of people were exposed to a hazardous material, and he filed a workers' comp claim. think that might have mixed in with the hatred they had for him.
Ticked it off, I see.
We don't often do this, but our company is very forgiving to those who have intestinal issues.
Yes. We have a colleague who is in and out of the toilet constantly, and I've been called into question because I'll say, there he goes again.
We're not allowed to judge.
We're not supposed to judge, but boy, he's in the toilet
And trust me, he leaves it a mess. When I say damage, he does it.
He will wreck a toilet for sure. There is a woman here today. This is online issues. TikTok had a trend recently where people would crack eggs on the forehead of their unsuspecting friend or family member and post shock reactions of having yolk running down the face and so forth. Well, a mother in Sweden has been convicted of harassment and ordered to pay her daughter, her own young daughter, $2,000 in damages because she posted a video of herself cracking an egg on the girl's head. I couldn't find the age of the girl, but everyone seemed to think this was just in good fun and was no big deal. But in Sweden, at least, they fined her $2,000. I wouldn't think that would ever fly here in the United States. What are your thoughts on this, Lisa?
No, this was actually a weird kind of almost like a child protective services type action that somebody filed on behalf of the child. The child didn't sue the parent. It was like the state sued the parent. But and it was their way of punishing the parent for being abusive. I don't think it rises to the level of abuse, and it wouldn't fly in our country. But I will say that there's kind of a whole sub-trend on TikTok I learned about because of research for the story, where it is about breaking the egg on a small child's head and then making them cry. And it is, and so like all these videos are out there if you look for them with little children, just like the shock and then the tears and, with little ones. And there's been a pretty significant backlash against those, because a lot of times it's these, professional vloggers or real folks, and they're there's been a bachalash against them. They're saying it's this is mean. I mean, it may not be child abuse, but it's just mean.
I mean, these are toddlers.
It's awful. I mean, why would any parent?
I don't hate it.
Kristen doesn't hate it. Why would a parent do that to their toddler? Lisa, you're a mother. Kristen does not have kids. He likes it. They're just cracking eggs on their heads.
I mean, the kids are all look like 4 or under. 3 or under.
They're tiny. Yeah, they're little kids, and you tell them like, we're gonna cook, we're gonna bake a cake together, honey, and you're cooking, and the next thing you know, you're wiping my head with that egg.
What kind of a parent does something like this, Lisa? I'm appalled.
Yeah, I think they're funny.
I'm appalled by this. You're cracking an egg on a 3-year-old's head. It's awful. They're supposed to trust you, and you're cracking an egg on their head. This is awful. I can't stand it. Others seem to be laughing. They're laughing at this. That's terrible. Speaking of kids, that kid, this went viral a couple of weeks ago in Kentucky, who ordered 70,000 dum-dum suckers on his mom's iPad or on his mom's phone. Her card was already in there, and he ordered it over and over and over again by accident. So 30 cases or 70,000 dum-dums were delivered to the porch of the home. And eventually Amazon gave her money back and took the suckers back. Or actually, they let her have the suckers and gave her money back. They're under no legal obligation to do that, are they, Lisa?
No, they really weren't because, she wasn't supervising a child. I mean, normally a child doesn't have the legal capacity to enter into a contract, which a purchase is a contract. But here, she was letting the child use her adult Amazon account, and so that's not on Amazon. That's on her.
Yeah.
And it basically has to do with who bears the risk of mistake in a contract. And in this situation, the risk of the mistake is on the buyer who ordered the wrong amount. Amazon tried to work with her because she figured it out. She called them up, and they said, just refuse the shipment, and then we'll credit it back. But the delivery driver didn't ring the bell and instead just dumped all the dum-dums on our front porch.
Well, that's Amazon for you.
Yeah, that's Amazon.
Non-drivers, I know. They're my favorite, right?
Right. Exactly.
So then she was stuck with them. Interesting thing is, she actually, because this went kind of viral, she got all this public support, and people bought the dum-dums from her to help her out. Oh. And now she's getting a credit, too, so she may be double dipping on the dum-dums.
Yeah, she made money.
Double dipping on the dum-dums.
The only other person that's ever done that is B.B. Shea. He loves a dum-dum. My God.
There's still 1,000 of them in his office.
Yeah, if you need any dum-dums, Lisa, we've got them. He buys them for Halloween, and nobody wants them.
They're not that good.
No, they're
not.
No. They're terrible.